Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. I hope you guys Tuesday is coming along fine. Anyway, of course, you guys know on Tuesdays I like to bring a word, all right? Because the word is important because remember, we know better, we do better. And I do believe that somebody is taking these messages in, learning, and it's helping them throughout their life, right? Because knowledge is understanding and we perish because of the lack of understanding. But here I am. I'm trying to give you guys all the knowledge, right? So you guys can go ahead, and go to that Bible and read yourself, right? Because I can open the door for you, but I can't walk through it for you, okay? So don't just be taking these messages in vain and not trying to go look for yourself, because what I'm saying, remember, comes out the Bible, okay? All right, so today I'm going to read Isaiah chapter 58, all right? I like to read these so you guys can kind of break it down as much as possible so you guys can understand, because another thing, right, it's the same thing. Just say if we blind and stuff and we wear glasses, right, and we don't go get those glasses, then it just, obscures our learning, right? We don't get a chance to learn like we want to learn because we won't take the time to go buy that little single pair of glasses or contacts to make us see better. So it's the same thing, right? I'm reading to you. Okay, and like I said, I can read to you, you can hear me, but you got to open the book yourself, all right? So go ahead, use those glasses so you can see, and use those ears so you can hear, and that mind so you can understand, and pray to the Father so He can give it to you, okay? All right, you guys, so like I said, I'm going to read Isaiah chapter 58 from KJV, all right? Now, this pre-header says, true law of the fast with its attendant blessings is set forth. Sabbath observance enjoined. All right. So, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgressions, their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. Wherefore we have afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasure and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife, and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye should not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, and acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover them, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh? Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine help shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall the light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a water garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters never fail. And they that shall be of these shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasures, nor speaking thine own words, Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. See what it is? Look at him. He's just telling you guys what to do, for him to like make you guys a mighty king or queen in this world. It's right here, Isaiah 58, right? So the first said, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. That's verse 1. So he's saying right now, hey, if you see it, then admonish it. You don't have to offend, but call it out. Point out their transgression to Jacob, right? They probably don't even know that what they're doing is not right. But don't be all like, be bold like the heart of a lion. You see, speak out like a trumpet and let them know, right? Because when we know better, we do better. And many people don't even know the things they're doing. So we can't sit there because we know knowledge and know the right way. We got to help our brothers and sisters get there too. So, spare not and lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew the people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins, right? We are Jacob, them 12 tribes. And when we know it, we got to let you guys know, right? So we got to speak like a trumpet. Verse 2. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways as a nation, not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance to justify. They ask of me the ordinance of justice, that they take delight in approaching to God, right? Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast, ye find pleasures and excite for all your labors, right? Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye should not fast as ye do today, to make your voice of the herd high. So he's just saying, okay, they try to seek me daily with their fasting, right? But they doing the fast in their own ways. In wickedness, it's not in God. It's not in the contrite spirit or nothing like that. They doing them, to make themselves look good in people, or for debates amongst their peers and everything, right? Today, they doing fasting to make their voice heard. It's not for the good of the Father. It's for them, for their own self to be glorified, right? Because when you do a fast, you're doing it for the Father. You're really supposed to do it in secret. But these days, the way they going to fast and making everybody know they fasting, right? That's not a real fast. The Father ain't hearing you because you're trying to please the man and not him, right? And they saying, wherefore have we fasted? And the Father sees not. He don't see you because you're not fasting the proper way. We got fast. They got a Daniel fast. There's quite a few fasts in this Bible. You can go and teach you how to fast. And teach you how to fast so you can know the right way to fast. You just need to get it from the Bible, right? But under no circumstance do you need to fast and try to glorify yourself in front of the people. Because the Father not hearing you, that fasting is just done in vain. That whole fast is done in vain, right? You just doing it, to make your voices be on high on this day. Okay, so the Father do not see the fast, right? And you're afflicting your soul for no reason, because you're only afflicting it for pleasure and the people, and you're not giving the glory to the Father. Because if you would fast for Him, and you would do it in secret. And trust and believe, if you fast right, He will make you a mighty person. He will make it known. You'll be walked through, untouchable. Believe that. All right, verse 5. Is this such a fast that I have chosen? Oh, well, no, not that one. I just read that one, right? Verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, that ye break every yoke? It is not to deal thy bread to the hungry. It is not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to the house. When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh. Okay, so he's just telling you right now, fasting. Okay, fasting got to deal with the hungry, the poor, and all that, right? So you're fasting to, like when people come together and fast as a group and pray and everything, and discipline themselves and not to eat the worldly things in life. They praying and fasting for oppression to be made obsolete, right? They praying, in the fasting, for the poor to become obsolete and everything, right? They praying, for the naked to be covered and everything. But they doing it in a righteous way and everything. They're not doing it, to please man, but to glorify the Father and to break the yokes, because prayer is like that's a tactic too. It's a warrior too. So you can pray and fast and break all these chains and break these oppressions, because remember, no weapon formed against you, no weapon formed against you, oh my Lord, did I just get that? Oh my goodness. Well, we already know that, right? No weapon formed against you shall prosper, okay? All right. And so that's what it's saying, you fasting, like I said, the proper way, not to glorify man, but to glorify the Father, to break every yoke, right? To break every yoke, because like I say, prayer is powerful, right? And they can be used as a warrior's tool, Now it says, then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine help shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. So he's telling you right now, if you fast righteously in the way you should fast, he's telling you, the light will break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord will be thy reward. He will allow you to shine 24/7, as long as you're doing the right thing. So if you fast to discipline, if you fast to learn more, if you fast to break your own ways, and you're not doing it in front of everybody, trying to make everybody notice you, he will take care of you. He will make you a mighty warrior throughout this world, and you will be rewarded when you do that fast. Not reward, but rewarded, because you're coming back. You're coming back to righteousness, okay? Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and the speaking of the vanity. And if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and the darkness be as the noonday. So he's telling you right now, if you call on him, you're doing right, he will answer. Say, here I am, if you take what it misses you, like the yoke, lying and pointing the finger at everybody, speaking vanity and everything, not, taking accountability for your own actions, right? Helping the hungry, going out there and don't mind helping the hungry and don't expecting a reward for it, right? Satisfying, the poor and everything, and afflicting your soul. Because believe it or not, when you're doing all these things, you're afflicting your soul. And that is great discipline. And that's just teaching you how to separate yourself from things. It's great discipline, right? Because just imagine if you weren't able to discipline yourself from things, you'd be messed up. So that's why you got so many people out here caught up in everything and in bondage, because they do not discipline themselves. They allow their mind to be compromised, where they're becoming crazy as ever. Don't even know they're crazy, because they got so much clutter going on in their mind until they can't discipline. It's too late, So while you got the chance, you got to allow to separate separate yourself from some things, right? Just make my limit to you. Even though you can have it, even though it's at your hand, don't mean you got to always grab it. Let it go to be disciplined, right? Because that can be a habit in the making, that you're gonna be used to and caught in bondage. But if you take the time to fast and get on your knees and pray and do it right, and discipline yourself from it and don't touch it, you'll be amazed how you can control all that in your life. All right, verse 11. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a water garden, and like a spring of water whose waters never fail. Right? So he's telling you right now, he's giving you the tools, right? You do what he tells you to do. He will water you like a garden that will never fail. You will flourish, you'll be bright. When you come back, people gonna see that glow. Like, who is that? Trust me, you're gonna make a statement when you walk back. Right? Because that glow is going to shine. They're going to know you happy. Everybody going to know, ooh, that person is happy and very peaceful. We're trying to figure out what can they do in their life to get on your level. Right? And those, when he do those to those people, when he water them like a flower and everything, it's because they walking in the righteous way, right? And they giving him the glory, right? And I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody perfect. Nobody saying it's perfect. Nobody saying it's holy as thou, right? But we know right from wrong. We know we don't have to perform so much evil. We know how to be righteous. We know how to help the people. We know how to not look down on people and be there for them. We know that already. We just need to perform it. Once we perform these things, we will be rewarded. But we should not expect to get reward for the people we help, especially if they don't get it. So if you put yourself to these things, right? And follow these tools, follow this process, and be truthful in it. Yes, He will water you. And your water will be just like a great garden. It's just going to bloom and bloom and bloom, right? And your waters would not fail, okay? Your soul be satisfied. All right, verse 12. And they that shall be of these shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations. And thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. So he's telling you right now, once you get all these things under your belt, you're going to be the restorer. Because he's going to choose you to go ahead and be a part of that righteous government. My scar keep out. He's going to choose you to go ahead and be a part of that righteous government, right? So you can lead that kingdom. Because like I told y'all, there is a righteous government coming when judgment comes. Now you guys got to know that, the world can't continuously become this evil, and just keep going. It's got to be an ending to it, right? The ending will be that righteous government, right? And only those right now who I'm talking about are going to be part of that righteous government. Now, to be more specific, he said they're going to be called the repairer of breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. So that person right there that's following, and doing right and doing what they need to do, of course, we live in the world, but you don't have to be a part of the world 24/7. You don't have to be caught up in the world. You can live in the world and still be separated and still live your life and be peaceful, happy, and jolly, right? And trying to walk certain ways so you can bring people in, right? So you can restore their life. So many people lost that need to be restored, don't even understand, okay? So this particular person, once they follow the way the Father wants them to do, they're going to raise up many generations. Their generation is going to be heavily going on in righteousness, just like the ancient people. You had Amos, Elijah, seed to seed. You see, you go from seed to seed, a never-ending story, because that person is going to raise that child to be like that, and then that seed is going to raise that seed to be out. So it goes on and on and on. They become the restorer. From generation to generation, they become the restorer, paths to dwell in, right? They build the foundation of many generations, right? And they should be called the repairer of the breach. Verse 13, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thy own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father. From the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. So now this is very important. Remember, the Sabbath is very important. A lot of people don't take this serious, right? But he's telling you right now, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, right? If you, on a Sabbath, if you give the Father glory, what we say, Friday, Sabbath is Saturday. So we basically start from Friday at 6 p.m. and end on 6 p.m. on Saturday. Or from evening Friday to evening Saturday, whichever you want to take it, right? Now, on that Sabbath, the Father, what he's saying is, don't do your own pleasures, right? You don't got to be on setting up, trying to get your hair done, your nails done, on the phone, talking about this and doing everything, making it about you. The Father said, give him the glory for that little time. Give him all the glory for that little time. Do something holy. Read. He's just saying, delight in him, but not in your own pleasures, not in your own ways, not even speaking your own words, but speaking for the Father. Talking about the Father, or learning, or you and your friends on the phone, y'all probably be reading the Bible together. But from evening to evening, from Friday to Saturday, or from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Saturday, that is the Father's time. That is Sabbath. And he's telling you, if you give him this day, please observe these days. Friday 6 p.m. to Saturday 6 p.m. or Friday evening to Saturday evening, right? According to the Bible, that is the Sabbath. And the Father is telling you right now, delight yourself in him. Don't do your own pleasures. Don't speak your own words. But just those little days, that's not a lot. You guys to give it to him. Now, even though we are the Lord of the Sabbath, don't get us wrong, but he's telling you, this is the process. The steps are in the Bible. Give him that day. Don't make Saturday, so much of a party thing where you folks and all on partying your body and shaping yourself and making you look good and vanity. But give him some time, just like he put all the time to make you created. Give him some time. Remember, Friday 6 p.m. to Saturday 6 p.m. or Friday evening to Saturday evening. It's the Sabbath. And the Father is saying, don't delight in your own ways, but delight only in him. Again, don't get on the phone and go call Terry, Jerry, Teresa, and Mary, you know, or don't try to go start doing your hair, or don't go start turning to music and dancing and dropping like it's hot. But just that little time, maybe read the Bible, maybe talk to the Father, maybe do something good, but make it holy on that day for that little time. It's not long because you still got all those other 6 days to do what you want to do and go, you know, wild out like a wild child, what you gonna do. But those, well, I just told you Friday and Saturday, get that to the Father for those little hours. It's not a long time. Now, once you do that, the final verse, which is verse 14 in Isaiah 58, KJV says, then